Hey, what's up, guys? It's Chris Chavez here again with Phandroid.com. Breaking news in the world of Android. Some leaked images of the Nexus 10 have just been acquired by our friends at Brief Mobile. This is a really good set of guys. They have an awesome Samsung contact, and they were able to get... previously, they always get all these weird devices from Samsung and they get them leaked like days and so far, weeks, months, whatever. So they got some leaked images of the Nexus 10 right before it's said to be announced on Monday. Google will be holding a press event where they will announce new features that are coming to Android and possibly a 7-inch 3G version of the Nexus 7, and then the Nexus 4, their phone, of course, the next flagship made by LG, which has been leaked like crazy. And they're going to talk about, of course, the Nexus 10, which is their 10-inch tablet. It's going to be an iPad 4 challenger for sure because of all of its crazy specs. So let's just go ahead and talk about the specs really quick and maybe compare them a little bit to the iPad 4. This sucker is going to be running 1.7 gigahertz dual-core Samsung Exynos 5250 CPU. Now that is dual-core, not like the crappy dual-cores or anything. I don't know. Don't think that it's crappy compared to like the Nexus 7 running a quad-core NVIDIA Tegra 3, because this is running off of an A15 architecture versus like the Tegra 3 quad-core, which is running off of quad or 4 A9s. And if the benchmarks, if you're into benchmarks, the A15s can pretty much wipe the floor with quad-core A9s. So really cool. As far as GPU goes, they have a beefy Mali T604 GPU, which ARM actually showed off in a couple of videos. I saw them on Engadget a while back, and it can get the job done. It's definitely pretty beefy. And now you can compare this to the iPad's A6X. iPad or Apple, they make a really good processor, and they always use PowerVR, GPUs, and all this crazy stuff. And it's supposed to have 4 times the graphics that the previous iPad 3 had. So I'd say they're about evenly matched. We'll have to wait and see. It's really hard because benchmarks with the iPad don't really match up with benchmarks. I don't know. But we'll have to see. But it's definitely packing some punch, this Nexus 10. As far as RAM goes, it's got 2 gigabytes of RAM versus, the iPad only has 1, although they didn't really talk about it at the event, but we suspect that they're only going to have 1 gigabyte of RAM. Internal memory is packing 16 gigabytes of internal storage. Little bit skimpy there, but I guess Google and Samsung have to do whatever they can or do whatever it takes to bring down the cost, because we're hoping they're gonna undercut Apple as far as pricing goes. So they will always want to give you the biggest amount of punch to make the OS run awesome, but they also want to cut corners where they can to bring that price really low. So we'll have to wait and see. There was no leak about price or anything. The big kicker as far as the Nexus 10 goes is the fact that it's going to be running a ridiculous 2560 by 1600 HD display. It's insane. It's higher than the TV you have. I just bought a brand new 1080p Full HD TV, and this little tablet is going to have a higher resolution than my TV. This is where we're going, folks, and it's ridiculous. For those that are all into the PPI stuff, the pixels per inch, it's got 298.9, which is just a little bit shy of 300. When you compare that to the iPad's running 2048 by 1536 Retina resolution display. So looks like somebody got beat. That was kind of the one thing that Apple has been holding on to, is their displays are Retina and nobody can match them. And sorry. Camera, pretty much the same camera as the iPad. It won't be as good quality, I'm willing to bet, but it's got a 5 megapixel camera. It's got NFC, but you won't find that on the iPhone 5 or the iPad 4. The coolest thing I think about it is the fact that it has dual stereo speakers, front-facing, so the sound comes at you, which is so cool, because whether you're playing video games or doing whatever, it's kind of stupid when you have sound shooting out the back and you gotta like cup your hand. I always do this weird hand cupping thing to listen to YouTube videos, or like they shoot out the side and it's just silly. So Front-facing speakers are definitely awesome, and I would love to see this in a phone. This is actually one of my gripes with some of the handsets that come out. I'm like, why don't they put a super loud speaker in the front? Why do they gotta make it shoot out the back? It's silly. Oh, as far as the OS it's running, it's going to be running the next version of Android, which is 4.2 Jelly Bean. Android 4.2 isn't going to be key lime pie like some people expected or wanted or whatever, but 4.2 Jelly Bean, this next version, does introduce a couple of new things. What the Brief Mobile guys discovered on their little leak was that it's got quick settings up at the top. Well, first of all, it's running an actual phone interface. So it's running the same interface that's on your phone, the same interface that's on your Nexus 7, and it's also going to be the same interface that's on this tablet, which is kind of cool because there was always a bit of a learning curve. I feel like even when you jump onto a tablet, it's a hard transition. Even if you played with both of them for a long time, you grow accustomed to hitting the apps button down here and not having to reach up in the corner and then reach in the corner to get your settings, but on a tablet it's down at the corner, and it's just, it was silly. It was dumb. So we don't know what's going on here. We don't know if Google's trying to get rid of the tablet interface altogether, which I didn't really care for too much. It was kind of laggy. There's really no point to it. We'll have to wait and see. There's no tablet interface on the Nexus 10, so they have quick settings. You pull down a little notification bar, and they got some little quick settings that are going to be up there, toggles, similar to like CyanogenMan and some of the custom ROMs that are out there. They're going to have multiple user accounts, which is absolutely insane. I'm sure Apple is probably going to go crazy over this, or Tim Cook is just going to call in his secretary and slap her. It's crazy because multiple user accounts is absolutely imperative. Most people just buy like one tablet for the whole family, and now with multiple user accounts, you can let your kid use it and have their own account and their own settings and all that crazy stuff, and then you can let dad have his own with his special videos and whatever. It's cool. It's actually pretty darn amazing. So similar to what you have on your desktop computer. The Gallery app was revamped, and the Camera app has been given a little bit of an overhaul. There's some different UI tweaks there. The only things that I would have liked to have seen personally in the Nexus 10, and this is probably the first thing I thought when I saw it, the tablet's ugly. It's ugly as sin. From what the images shown or the leaked pictures shown, and some people are like, I think it's just a case. They put a little decoy case, so no, it's not. That's it. It's got Nexus on the back. It's disgusting, and it looks really ugly. Some people say, or they mentioned, and I get it, that it might look different in person. Hold it in your hands, it might feel and look a little bit different and kind of change your perceptions of it. That's possible, but I don't know. It looked pretty ugly in those pictures. Aside from that, I would have preferred they would have went maybe the Asus way, which was like the Pad Phone 2. They should have had the Nexus 4, got your phone, Nexus 10, 10-inch tablet, Retina display, but it's a total empty shell. And then you use your Nexus 4, slide it in, converts it into tablet mode. That would have been epic. That would have let them sell the Nexus 10 for dirt cheap. It would have ensured that people who have the Pad phone would buy the Nexus 10, but then again, I guess some people have an iPhone, and maybe that's what Google's trying to do, huh? So people with iPhones will still get an Android, at least a tablet, if it's cheaper, if they don't want to buy the iPad. So I get what you're doing, Google, but I would have much rather have loved to have seen a dock, because I'm going to probably get the Nexus 4 regardless, and a 10-inch dock to slide that sucker into would have been absolutely insane. While we're on the topic of docks, or we're talking about it, I would have loved to have seen a keyboard dock too. That would have been really cool. A little clamshell, snap it in, the Nexus keyboard dock. That would have been really cool. But I guess that's still a possibility. We don't really know until Monday. And a quad-core S4 Pro processor instead of the dual-core Samsung one. Only because a lot of times in the app market, things are really fragmented in Android, and if the Nexus 4 and the tablet are both running on the quad-core same exact processor, I feel like it would give app developers like a single thing to focus in on, so you can ensure at least it's working on the Nexus devices. So I don't know, not really sure. That's kind of like, but well, whatever. One of the things that it was missing was GPS, or it wasn't mentioned in the leak, so we're not really sure what's going on with the GPS stuff. Some people like to take their tablet out and have Google Maps doing some crazy stuff. I think it's kind of weird, especially in the 10-inch tablet, but other than that, that's pretty much it. Those are my only complaints. Yes, I'm an Android fanboy, but I don't think Google is perfect, and they are infallible, and they can do no wrong. So we'll have to wait to see till Monday what's going on. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, what you guys thought about the Nexus 10, what you guys hope they would have, if you guys think it's ugly, if it's good looking, what you guys would have liked to have seen in the Nexus 10. Just leave your comments. Make sure to comment, give a little thumbs up, possibly. I know this video is really long, so to see the pictures, don't forget to hit the bottom area where we'll have a link to all the pictures of it and to Brief Mobile where the guys got the goods. So I'm Chris Chavez with Phandroid.com. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry for a long video. See you next time.